see, change is inevitable. So it's never too late to make a difference as an individual. Cause we gotta do that to become better as a whole. All for one, and one for all.
Good morning, Wolfpack. How are we doing this morning? Once again, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope this day is just exactly what you need. I hope today is the day that you start stepping towards your goals, catching your dreams, and living the life that you want to live. I hope you learn to love yourself. Whatever is holding you back, I hope that you let it go. We'll do something a little different this morning. Even though I have something to say this morning, we're going to do something a little different. Y'all remember that, and this might actually start a little side segment type thing, but y'all remember what that game that we played as kids called Simon Says? Everybody knows that, right? Simon says touch your toes. Simon says touch your nose. Simon says blink twice. Simon says hop around on one foot. Put your left foot in. Take your left foot out and shake it all about. No, that's two different things. Yeah. If you put your left foot in, Simon didn't say, right? So we're going to do something a little different, and we're going to call it Rooster Says. Rooster Says, I want it to kind of be about words of affirmation, helping you learn to love yourself. So just remember, we're playing the game. But don't be the one to get out. Don't be the one not to follow directions. Don't be the one not to listen. So, Rooster says, learn to love yourself. Because in order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experience that shaped you. So learn to love yourself. When nobody else loves you the way you need to be loved, nobody else loves you the way you want to be loved, because nobody else knows how to love you the way you need to be loved. Because unfortunately, a lot of us don't even know how to love ourselves. You know, I've talked about this I don't know how many times, but, and you know, it's an unpopular opinion, but around here, if you realize, I don't give a fuck about unpopular opinions. I'm not here to coddle you. I'm not here to play mommy. I'm not here to play daddy. I'm not here to friggin' tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear. And if you don't like it, just suck it up, buttercup. You'll be fine. You'll get over it. You can dismiss it just like you do everything else in your life. Try to shove it underneath the rug. I know I'm being a little harsh this morning, but it's all for a reason. You need to understand that if you don't know how to love you, then how is somebody else supposed to love you? If you don't know how you want to be loved, how you should be loved, how you need to be loved, then how is somebody else supposed to love you like that? I'm not saying there isn't somebody that can love you, or no, I'm sorry, I apologize. Not saying that there isn't somebody that can't love you because you don't know how to love yourself. But I know people don't like it, and they post it on Facebook. Well, you shouldn't tell people, you know, you can't, nobody will love you unless you love yourself, or you can't find love unless you love yourself. They are right. It is right. No matter whether people want to friggin' hear it, no matter whether, people the cancel culture wants to get on there and cry and whine and piss about it. That is the truth. Why is it the truth, though? Why can't you find love if you can't even love yourself? Because you don't know how to. If you don't know how to love you, then how is somebody else supposed to love you the way you want to be loved? It's a weird thing, right? I mean, you got somebody that probably is in your life right now. They really do love you. But is it the way you want to be loved? Are they loving you in their way? Are they loving you in your love language? Are they doing the things that you actually love? Are they loving you for you? Or are they loving you for what you do for them? These questions you need to ask yourself. So why can't you find love until you love yourself? Because when you love yourself, then you know what boundaries you can set with people. When you love yourself, it actually creates the love that you want and the love that you need. Because when you love yourself, you won't put up with the bullshit that everybody else wants to put you through. When you love yourself, then you will know what real love is. You'll know when that person comes along, because they're not just loving you for what you can do for them. They're not just loving you because of what you do for them. They're not loving you for the potential that you have. They're not loving you for all these other wrong reasons. They love you for you. And they love you because you love yourself and you know how you want to be loved. Think about this. Think about this. If you don't know how to love yourself, how is somebody else supposed to love you properly? Because you don't know how to love yourself, then that's why people use you. That's why people step over your boundaries. That's why people abuse you. That's why they do all this different stuff that you don't want them doing. And they don't understand how to love you because you don't love yourself. How do you begin to love yourself? Just like I said in the beginning, in order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. That means your past. Whatever you've been through with yourself, you can't hate it. You have to forgive. You do have to let go. I know a lot of people hate that little saying right there. Well, just let it go. Yeah. If you hold on to things for so fucking long, I'm sorry about the background noise. There's these cars around here, I don't understand. It's like people don't believe in mufflers around here. But anyways, seeing that made me lose concentration. Where the hell was I? I apologize. That's bullshit, because I was on a roll, but I let something else distract me. Anyways, if you don't love yourself, how is somebody else supposed to properly love you? Not saying that they can't love you, but how are they supposed to properly love you? In the ways that you want to be loved. When you are being negative about yourself and you have self-doubt, when you're not, chasing your dreams and you're not doing what you really want in life, and you're not setting boundaries, and you're not demanding respect, and you're not demanding to be treated, the right way, all this different stuff. That's a lot. That's a lot of not understanding how to love yourself. But, okay, so that's where I was. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Everything we've been through in life everything that has made who we are, that has shaped who we are today. I'm not saying that, the things that you've been through are good, or that it was your fault, or any of that other shit. I'm saying that the things that happened to you happened. You need to learn to forgive, to move on. And forgiveness isn't always about the other person. It is not always about the other person. It is for yourself, so you can let things go that you've been holding on. So you can love yourself correctly. Because if you're holding on to the hate of your past and the things that people have done to you, then how do you expect to move on? How do you expect to find love when you have so much hate in your heart? So the experiences that we've all been through, and we've all been through all kinds of different things. It's different, but it's the same, right? Everybody's been through so many different things, but we've all been through basically the same thing. It's the same shit. And we all deal with it in different ways. I'm going to take a drink. Hold on. Now let me give you an example. Not really an example. Just take me for an example. Spent a good 20 years of my life being a complete asshole, hating everyone, having a chip on my shoulder, tearing people down, all because I couldn't move on from my past and I couldn't love myself. Back then, I never understood that I had to love myself. I couldn't love myself. Nobody else could love me, so how could I even love myself? Well, I finally got to the point to where I started loving me, and I started actually caring about me, whether I lived or whether I died, whether I actually, paid bills or didn't pay bills, whether I took care of my children or didn't take care of my children, whether I, was nice to people or not nice to people. When I started caring about myself and loving myself and taking care of myself and getting my shit together, which I'll explain that in a minute. But when I started taking care of myself, loving myself, getting my shit together, doing all these different things, I began to understand what love really is. Yes, it is amazing to be loved by a woman unconditionally. Loves me for all my flaws, and trust me, I have many. I have many flaws. But to know that she loves me for who I am and not who I portray myself to be, and not who I act to be, try to be, however you want to put it. Knowing she loves me for me, the good and the bad, would have never happened. I've said it many times, and I've told her many times. The person I used to be, the one I used to be friggin' years ago, me and her would have never worked out if I was still that same person. We may have found each other. We may have, gotten together. We may have slept together. Just now, but we would not have the relationship and the bond and everything that we have right now. How did that come to be? Because somewhere along the line, I actually started loving me. Yes, the experiences that we've all been through fucking sucks. They really do. And I'm not diminishing anything that anybody's been through or dismissing any of it. But I'm telling you, when you start letting some of that shit go, and you actually start, forgiving some people for some shit they did. And again, forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's about you. It's not saying that it's okay for whatever they did to you. It's not justifying that it's okay for whatever they did to you. Forgiveness is for yourself. Telling yourself, that it wasn't your fault. That it wasn't, you aren't the one to blame. That you didn't make this happen. That just because a certain situation happened to you, it wasn't your fault. You've got to understand that. That's what real forgiveness is about. Not even about the other person. Forgiveness is for you. Not saying you still can't, dislike some people and experiences. But again, in order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Everything I've been through in my life, everything that has happened to me, everything that has been done to me, all the wrongs, all the friggin' manipulations, all the friggin' abuse, all the self-negative abuse, all these different things that is happening in my life has shaped who I am today. But let's not forget. Hold on, because I gotta look for it. Let's not forget. Oh, really? Okay. Well, trying to read some stuff off of here. I said I'm trying something different. Gonna have to go back and rewatch this one to understand it fully. But let's not forget that about the good things too, because it's also the good things that just shaped me. I say it all the time. You can't have love without pain. It's a cold, hard fact. You cannot have love without pain. You cannot know what love is without going through pain. Just like good and evil. You have to know evil to know whether you're good. Because if you don't know what evil is, then you don't know if you're doing good or not. Right? So love and pain goes together hand in hand. It's the left side and the right side. Yes, you've been through a lot of pain. Yes, you've been through a lot of different shit. But in the end, you have to love yourself. And the experiences that you've been through has shaped exactly who you are today. Good and bad. No matter what, it's good and bad. You've had ups, you've had downs. You've had good things happen to you, you've had bad things happen to you. Your life has been great at some points and your life has been shit at some points. It's life. It sucks, it happens. But it's time to move on. It's time to move on. It's time to let go of the chains that are holding you back. And that's what really a lot of people mean when they say you need to learn to let it go. They're not saying to let go of the situation. They're not saying to let go of what happened to you. They're not saying to forget what happened to you. They're not saying that. They're basically saying break the bonds that are holding you back. 3 B's. Break the bonds that are holding you back. Because if you're stuck in your past and reliving all the things that have happened to you negatively, then how do you expect to live in your present? How do you expect to plan for your future when all of this is holding you back from who you really want to be, from the life you really want to live, and playing the blame game, making up excuses of why and who is holding you back is the biggest problem. One of the biggest problems that we all have. I'm not here because of this. I'm not here because of that. I'm not here because of this person did this one time and that person did that one time and then this happened and that happened. It's so simple, but it's not easy. That this morning is a new little segment of, like I was saying, I want to start doing, is called Rooster Says. Just like Simon says. Rooster says to love yourself. Rooster says to break those bonds that are holding you back. Break the bonds that are holding you back. Move on. Let today be the first day that you start to live the rest of your life. Let today be the day that you live the best of your life. The more you hold on to stuff from your past, the longer it's going to take you to get to where you really want to be. Trust and believe. I'm speaking from experience. Somebody that walked around for 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. Holding a chip on my shoulder. Hating everybody. All these different kinds of things. And yet, when I finally was able to move on to start loving myself for who I am, don't get it twisted. We're not going to sit here and be who people want you to be. No, you be who you are. You speak your fucking truth. You live your life how you want to live, not how somebody else wants you to live. You don't act how somebody else wants you to act. You don't break your bonds that are holding you back to let somebody else put you in chains again. You live life how you want to live. Going back to school. Chasing that dream. Doing those goals. Losing weight. Whatever. Keep going with the examples. Whatever is holding you back. Set yourself free. But you got to learn to love yourself. I hope these little Rooster Says moments is going to stick with you. My hope with this is that when you start doubting yourself, when you start the negative talk, that little voice in the back of your head is going to pop up and says, well, Rooster said this, Rooster said that. Just like Simon says, don't be the one to get out. Don't be the one not to do what you were told. No, I'm not trying to control you. No, I'm not trying to force you to do things. I'm trying to help you live a better life. I'm trying to make the rest of your life the best of your life. I'm going to go on. I know I've already been on here for, 23 minutes. I'm going to go on. And I'm going to read some things that people's post today because I keep bitching towards everybody about just posting things on Facebook. And you're just posting them because they sound cool. You're posting them because they sound great in the moment. But you're not actually living them. You're not actually doing what these posts on Facebook or any social media are telling you to do. It's not sinking in. So maybe, just maybe, if I read it to you and you listen to it enough, then actually it'll sink in, and these posts that you make are just not going to be a 1 second thing and then you move on and scroll on and don't even remember half an hour later what you even said. I'm telling you that social media is one of the worst things that was ever invented, because people don't use it correctly. You have all of this information, internet, all this, technology. You have all of this stuff at your fingertips that can help you, and yet we don't use them correctly. All of the information is out there, all of the research. There's never been a more perfect time in history that you could crack open a book or anything else and then all the answers be there. You want to know how to cook, you can look it up. You want to know how to start a business, you can look it up. You want to know how to friggin' fix a lawnmower, you can look it up. All of this information's out there. And yet we stay stuck on social media and don't do the shit at all. We just post funny memes and we just scroll for hours mindlessly just to keep ourselves busy looking for instant gratification. So, that's what y'all want to do. Then I'm going to start using your shit. I want to start with this one. This one, I always, if you listen, I always say this. I got to get my shit together. I got to get my shit together. 9 times out of 10, it's usually how I friggin', even get off of my lives. And I say, I got shit to do. I got to get my shit together here. I always say this. Lo and behold, I didn't know friggin' that shit was an acronym for something else. And it makes perfect sense. I didn't know at the time, and I always meant I need to get my shit together, as in I need to do this, I need to do that, blah, blah, blah. But the acronym and the thing I found on Facebook and posted in the group is make time to get your shit together. SHIT stands for self-care, happiness, inner peace, and time. Your time. So make time to get your shit together. Self-care, happiness, inner peace, and time. Your time. Start using that. When you say, I need to get my shit together, remember Rooster said what shit really means. Self-care, happiness, inner peace, and time. So start getting your fucking shit together. Again, I'm gonna use the quote that I used, and I don't think I ever actually said who said it. I don't know if I can pronounce their name. But in order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. By Andrea Dijkstra. Yeah. Don't think I actually said her name before. Some of the perspectives of the day the group members post in the Facebook. We'll start. I've got actually several of them, so this is going to take a few more minutes, so I hope you have time this morning. If not, then fucking make time. Told this somebody the other day. And, friggin' when I was like, hey, I hope you come to the meeting, and, that we're going to have next Monday on the 12th at 5:30 in the Sydney Library, which I did go talk to Pickwill Library, and I want to talk to Troy. We'll talk about that more later today. So, I want you to understand that when I said this to this person, this is what I meant. I was like, hey, I hope you show up to the meeting, the in-person meeting that we're going to start having. And they were like, okay, we'll see what we have of this. And I was like, no. So that's not a good enough answer. What is more important that you have to do in your life rather than coming to this meeting that might help change your life and start getting your shit together? The answer is nothing. The answer is nothing. There should be nothing more important in your life than getting your shit together to changing your life. People cry and whine and piss and moan and complain all of the time that they want to change, that they want to friggin', live a better life, that they want to live the best life that they can, when you don't want to put the work in to do it. You don't want to give up some TV time or social media time or friend time or drinking time or all this stuff to maybe come to a little meeting, or sit here and listen to a podcast, or sit here and listen to a live, or sit here and actually use social media to work for them, not against them. They don't want to do all of this stuff, but they expect to change. They expect to get their life together. They expect to get their shit together. How's that even possible? Definition of insanity. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again the exact same way, then you're going to if you keep doing the same thing over and over again the exact same way and expect different results, then that's the definition of insanity. So try it. Come to the meeting. If you don't have a ride, I'll gladly come pick you up. Send me a message. Unless you're out of state or freaking, 2 or 3 hours away, let's be reasonable here. But if you're a town over, but I said it's not just going to be in Sydney. There's going to be one in Piqua. There's going to be one in Troy. I don't know how far I can keep going, but I want to start having this in different areas so different people can show up. But there should be nothing. There should be no excuse more than having time to be able to get your shit together. We're going to see about some workarounds, though. But we are going to go continue on. And I want to read some perspectives of the day. Hopefully, Stacy asked, when is the one in Piqua? The one in Piqua is on the, I can't check. I'll get back with you, Stacy. I'm pretty sure, unless Becky is online and watching, maybe she can tell you the one that I said yesterday was in Piqua. It's not the 12th, because that one's in Sydney. Maybe I want to say the 20th or 22nd or something like that. It's not next week, it's the week after on Tuesday. I couldn't get one on Monday for Piqua. Okay, yep. Becky said the 20th. 20th at Piqua Library at 5:30 to 8 p.m. So, we're going to go on. We'll explain more about that. And I'm going to make another post. I'm going to make some flyers and stuff today. Don't know if I'll get them out today. But I am going to make a post saying, hey, I got the Piqua one confirmed. I'm still waiting on the Troy to be confirmed. Hopefully I'll hear about that today or the next couple days. But anyways, perspective of the day. This goes right along with what we were talking about. Thank yourself. Nobody sees the battles you fight every day. No one truly understands how hard it is to do what you do. You deserve to show some love to yourself too. Be it rewarding yourself with self-care time, seeing your friends for some good time, or staying home, taking a salt bath, and reading a good book. Whatever it is that you enjoy, make sure you make time for it. Right along with what we were saying, right? Right along what we were talking about. Becky said 5:30 p.m. then get your time straight. Okay, all right. I'm going to be there at 5:30. We're not technically going to start until 6. And that is what, thank you, Becky, for reminding me that, I did say that. We're not going to start until 6 on these meetings, but I'm going to be there, and hopefully Becky too is going to be there at 5:30 to set things up, to get, to get there, let people get in, give them time. You could show up early, around 5:30 when we're there, but we're not going to start till 6. So it's going to be about from 6 p.m. to at least, around 7:30 p.m. the max. We need to be out of there by 8. So 7:30 is probably going to be the cutoff time, and and then I'm going to start cleaning up and stuff. So, yeah, thanks for reminding me about that, Becky. Anyways, This one says, I know it's hard to forget the moments you're ashamed of, but please make sure you remember all the times that you made yourself proud too. You're so much more than your lowest moments. That one was by Michael C. Clark. Don't say who the other one was by. But that goes right along with what we were saying this morning. Be proud of the moments that you have had of good times. You know, don't remember all the times that you made yourself proud. There are plenty of times I know in my life that I've been ashamed now. Back then I wasn't. But now, when I look back on my life, there are times that I was, I'm ashamed of and embarrassed of things I've done to people, or how I've acted, or the way, I've been, and the person I used to be. But there are also some very proud moments throughout my whole life of things that I've accomplished, things that I've done, people that, that I have helped and have helped grow. Not just in the group. I wasn't always a dick when I was an asshole, but I at least was out there friggin' doing good things too. It was a balance. It was more bad than good, but it was still a balance. So, go to the next one. Have patience with yourself. Nobody ever got better overnight. You'll get wherever you need to be in time. For now, remember that every day that you survive is a step forward. And you have survived many tough days that you thought you wouldn't pass. Be proud of yourself and keep going. What's up, Scott? How you doing, brother? Brother across the pond? Hope everything's going well over there. Hope your son's doing good. The next one. Sky is not the limit. Your mind is. Ha! I like that one. When I found that one yesterday and posted that one, I was like, I've never thought about that. Everybody always says, the sky is the limit. Which meaning like, oh, friggin', you can go as high as you want to and achieve what you want to. Actually, your mind is the limit. If you believe you can only get 5 feet up, then your mind is what's stopping you. Now, if you believe the sky is the limit, then that's great. But the one thing that stops you is your mind from believing that you can do this and you can do that. You can achieve your dreams. You can achieve your goals. You can get better. So the sky is not the limit. Your mind is. You are powerful. Your potential is endless. There is a solution to every problem. There is nothing you can't overcome. Remember, everything is temporary. You have made it through tough times before. You can turn any situation around. By Carrie Marie Bush. I want to read that one again. You are powerful. Your potential is endless. There is a solution to every problem. There is nothing you can't overcome. Remember, everything is temporary. You have made it through tough times before. You can turn any situation around. A lot of times we do forget the shit that we've actually been through. Yeah, we don't forget the pain, we don't forget the memories, but we do forget the things that we've been through and we've actually made it through. There's been times in my life that I did not think I could get over this, and it was going to be the end of my life. But here I am. Here I am, keeping stepping. Here I am, keeping going on. Keeping it on. I got one more. This one's more of a tip. So, tip of the day. Note to self. When things feel overwhelming, remember. One thought at a time. One task at a time. One day at a time. The AA meetings that I've been to, they say, take it one day at a time. If 1 day at a time don't work, take it 1 hour at a time. If 1 hour don't work, take it 1 minute at a time. 1 minute don't work, take it 1 second at a time. Just know that we do all make mistakes. that we do fuck up. But our fuck ups don't define who we are. It's what we do after the mistakes that we made is who makes us who we are. A little bit of self-reflecting this morning. Yes, I've done some bad shit to a lot of people. Yes, I've been a monster for most of my life. Yes, I have done some things that I am not proud of, that I can't change. And I know I've hurt a lot of people along the way. But I can't let those chains hold me down. I decide whether other people want to believe it or not. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of people, even though I've been doing this for 4 years, not a lot of people know that I do this whole mental health group thing. You know, I remember being part of a riding motorcycle club last year, and they knew a different side of me. They knew a different side of Rooster. You know, I was kind of a badass and mean and, you know, friggin' didn't joke around a whole lot. I was a smart ass and this and that. I had a different persona at that time. I was in a different mindset. But, you know, and I became, the sergeant at arms of that club. And then after the club disbanded and we kind of all went our own separate ways, none of them knew that I still did this mental health group stuff. And when I actually invited a few people in that was part of the club into it, and you know, we didn't separate on bad terms. We didn't separate on bad terms. Just some things happened. We had to disband the club. But when I invited this club, they were like, "Holy shit, you do this? Like Rooster? Like Rooster, you do this kind of stuff? We didn't even know." I said, "Yeah, you didn't even know all my personal business. You didn't even know this side of me." I decide when I can change. There are people out there that would laugh at you, be like, Chris Atkins? You're saying he does something? No, not him. No. He was an asshole. He was a bad guy. He was a monster. He did this and he did that and he did this and he did that. Damn right I did it. Damn right. Probably whatever most people say, except for a few things, because there are a few things I am not. But probably a lot of what most people say is probably the truth. I ain't gonna deny it. I'll admit my wrongs. I admit my faults. I'll tell people faster than somebody else will tell you that, yeah, I fucked up. Now, there are some things that, you know, some people say that it was not the truth. Not how the fuck it happened. Sorry, Charlie. I'll admit when I fuck up, but I will not fucking take blame for where friggin' I didn't do something. But with all those people out there that do and you know, think of me as the old person that I used to be, they don't know this new person. They'd never believe, even if they met me. And trust and believe, I still have my own asshole personality, so it's not like, you know, friggin' I've changed and been like, oh, you know, I'm just this good sweetheart person. No, I'm still an asshole. Let's not get it twisted here. I am still an asshole. I'm just a little bit of a nicer asshole, yo. I just try to do more good now than I do bad. But I still have my own personality, and that is what makes me me. My personality, how I want to be, like I said in the beginning of this, how I want to be, how I want to act. That's me. And I'm not changing me. I'm not changing who I really am. I'm just becoming a better version of me. That's a lot of what this morning is about. You don't have to change all this. You don't have to forget all of this. You don't have to friggin', you know, let everything go. But just become a better version of yourself. It's there. It's possible. I said it yesterday. I've said it many more times. If I can do it, whether you all want to believe, you know, all the ups and downs of my life and all the things that I have done in my life, I could sit here, I could sit here and tell you stories of my life that would probably make you look at me and be like, you are a grimy motherfucker. You were a real piece of shit back in your fucking day. You were this, you were that. I could tell you these stories. And if anybody wants to know, I'll tell you. Like, I'm an open fucking book. I done my dirt. I admit to my faults. But that's not who I am anymore. Now let's not get it twisted too. The beast is sleeping, it's not dead. I can let that motherfucker out of his cage at any time. So if anybody wants to try me, then you can meet that beast. Kind of a little off topic, but my girlfriend last night, before we went to bed, I don't even really know why she asked me. I think the back door was unlocked or something, and she went to lock it, and she was just like, "Are you scared of anything?" I said, "No, why? What the fuck you talking about? Where'd that come from?" She was like, "No, there's got to be something you're scared of." And she was like, and I was like, "No." I said, "I'm only really scared of one thing. That's it." She was like, "Oh yeah, like spiders or something." And I was like, honestly, I said, I am not as scared of spiders as I friggin' used to be when I was a kid, and when I, yes, as an adult too. Friggin', I'm not as scared of spiders as I used to be. I can see a spider and kill it and be fine. I don't run away screaming like a little bitch like I used to. I will admit that. Into my young adult stage, I was still that scared of spiders. But nowadays, it's not as bad. But a lot of people like to pick on me and poke fun at me, about spiders. It's no big deal. Now, do I want to fuck with spiders, or am I going to hold a spider? Hell no. Hell no. I ain't going to do that shit. But I was like, no. I said, and I told her all that. Like, I was like, really, honestly, like, I'm not that bad with spiders anymore. Like, do I want to fuck with them? No. They stay over there, I stay over here. You stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane, all right? We can coexist. But she was like, then what's the one thing that you're scared of? I said, simple, me. The old me. Who I used to be. I am terrified of becoming who the person I used to be again. Letting that beast out of his cage, I don't know if I could ever put it back into his cage again. I don't know if I could ever contain that person again if I had to let it back out. And it's a weird thing to say. I'm not sitting here saying, just because I'm a Marine and, I was a sergeant at arms in a riding club, not a motorcycle club, friggin', we didn't do illegal shit. We were just a veteran riding club. Just because I was, in this different stuff and, I've gotten into fights and this and that. But don't ever get it twisted. I've had my ass whooped too. I'm not saying I'm a badass that I could fucking take on any man. I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not scared of nobody else because I don't fear nobody else. I've looked at fucking dudes that are fucking 6'2", 300 fucking pounds, muscle bound, and told them they ain't nothing but a bitch. And I've got the shit slapped out of me for it. Got the shit slapped out of me for it. And it hurt. It hurt bad. Don't get it wrong. Like, it hurt. I'll fucking admit that. Knocked me right on my ass. Bitch slapped the fuck out of me. Got back up, though. Got knocked back down again, though. But I wasn't scared. Maybe a little nervous. Maybe I regretted it. Maybe I don't. But I don't fear no man. I've stared down the barrel of a gun and pulled that trigger on my own self. Heard click instead of boom. Not much in this world actually scares me. Do I have other fears? Yes. Do I have fear of abandonment? Do I have fear of losing one of my kids to, something bad? Do I, fear, fucking failing life? Do I fear fucking, regret? Yes, I have fears. But I'm not scared of nobody but one person. And that's me. I don't want to turn back into the old me. And every day I strive to become better. And every day I still fight that battle to keep that motherfucker in its cage and not go back. Because trust and believe, people still piss me off. People still annoy me, still aggravate me. And every day I gotta work harder to keep that motherfucker contained. Because I want to be who I am, who I truly was meant to be. Not what the hell I was, and not a product of my own environment. And it's possible. Maybe you're not as bad as me. Maybe you're not as grimy as me. Maybe you're not as fucked up as me. Maybe you're even more fucked up as me. Maybe you've been through worse shit than me. But change is possible. You just gotta believe. You just gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe. You just got to start taking the steps. You just got to start believing in yourself. And you got to start loving yourself. And stop hating the experiences that have shaped you. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. It's a hard reality. Hopefully one day you'll understand. Hopefully I clarified it a little bit more for you. And remember, Rooster Says. Our new little segment, we'll call it. Our new little thing. Like I said, I want to start giving like more positive affirmations. I don't want to always get into your ass. I want to teach you shit. I want this group going into a different perspective, in a different way, and a different outlook, different path. So we're going to start implementing smaller things. I don't know if I'm always going to do what Rooster says. I don't know if I'm always going to, do those little segments. But when I think of something that might help, hey, I want to be that little voice, just like my cousin Susan says all the time. Friggin', we've talked to her, and I've helped her so much over the last few years that even she'll have the conversation in my head, and just like I'm in her head, and I'm her little voice, and telling her, that's not what the fuck I told you to do. Because that's what I always tell her. I always give her advice and tell her, okay, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, friggin' go about it this way, go about it that way. Then, in about an hour later, a day later, a couple days later, a week later, she'll call me and be like, well, so yeah, I ended up doing this. And I'm like, Susan, that is not what the fuck I told you to do. Like, you went the complete opposite direction of what I told you. Like, why don't we even waste my idea of breath? That's not what the fuck I told you to do. So don't be that person. Don't be Susan. Don't be Susan. You're going to be. I know. Even I am. Friggin', I don't always do, and I don't always practice what I preach. But I try. And when I wake up in the morning, it's another day to try even harder. To become who I really want to be. To get where I want to be. To live the life that I want to live. So these little things that I'm implementing, I hope it's going to, become something. I hope it's going to start helping people more. That's all I want. That's all I want. Remember what Rooster said today. Yes. And I know I'm going long this morning. I got a lot of shit to say. You'll be all right. Going almost an hour this morning, where I like to keep morning motivationals friggin' short. But it's actually funny, because I went from not knowing what the fuck to talk about to where here an hour later I'm talking about a lot of shit. Yeah, it's me. You'll be all right. I'm a speaker. I talk. I'm a talker. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's okay. It's okay. But and it is a lot of times where I don't know what I want to talk about, that once I finally do get to talking, though, because like this morning I woke up at 5 o'clock. I got up out of bed, and if everybody, pays attention, when I'm talking, I struggle with sleep. Like, I don't get good sleep. And I really struggle in the fucking mornings of getting up. And this morning, I got up at 5 o'clock. I didn't go back to sleep. Pretty proud of myself for that. It might be a small achievement, a small step for most of you, but I say, and a lot of people will be like, well, I got to get up at 4:30, and I got to do this, and I got to do it. Well, it's different when you don't have to. Do you do that same shit on the weekends when you don't have to? Do you just get up at 4:30 in the morning when you don't have to on the weekends or holidays or whenever? So it's a choice. You have to go to work. Okay. I don't have to get up that early in the morning. I'm choosing to. It's way different. But it's a small little accomplishment for the day. Hey, I did it. Hey, I, friggin' got on here and did a live. Going an hour long. It'll be okay. But it's weird that, when a lot of the times that when I friggin', don't have something to talk about, and I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to do one this morning. And I was thinking that. And my brain was kind of a standstill trying to wake up. But then I went ahead and just like, what, fuck it. I got a little thought in my head, we'll see where it goes. Talking about loving yourself. You know, and the whole Rooster Says things is something I come up with like a week or two ago, just never started yet. And it's all, you know, friggin', I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Les Brown had actually given me the idea, because he had come up with the whole Simon Says thing. And he's like, well, Simon says this, Simon says that. You know that game we used to play? And he ran down different scenarios. And I was like, oh, well, I'm taking on the different persona. You know, yesterday when I was going around to those libraries and stuff and talking to different people, I had my my vest on. My You're Not Alone vest that I had, you know, custom made, embroidered, and, you know, with the logo on my motorcycle vest, and it felt different. Like it was like almost my suit. Like I'm telling you, I'm refusing. I am not going to wear a 3-piece suit. You know, even though, you know, friggin' about a year ago I went to a ceremony and wore a very sexy friggin', you know, filling shirt that it just was an amazing shirt. I still have that shirt. And I wore nicer clothes. But when I want to speak and when I want to get in front of people, you know, that was for an event. That was for somebody else. But that's not who I am. When I get in front of people, I don't want to change me. I've already decided that vest, I'm going to wear that. That's going to be my suit. Now, it's not going to be the only thing I wear. Yeah, of course, I'm going to have pants on and a shirt and, you know, shoes and stuff. I'm not just going to go up there butt-ass naked with just that vest. But, sorry, ladies and men. You know, whatever your preference is, sorry. But, you know, yeah, I'm definitely going to have other clothes on than just that. But I've already decided that's my suit. It's, you know, in advertising, you know, while I was on my bike all day yesterday, I know people were, you know, looking at it. I know people while I was riding, they were, you know, behind me and happened to read it. And you can only really read the top, probably. I'm pretty sure you can't read the bottom because how I sit on the bike. But you can read the top of the back of the vest that says, "You are not alone." I wonder how many people that affected yesterday. I wonder how many people needed to, you know, read that and understand it. And trust me, I got some looks yesterday, and I got some, you know, friggin' the libraries kind of. I called Becky afterwards, and I'm like, so I didn't have that a well of a reception as I did in Sydney. Probably because I didn't already talk to them on the phone like I did with the one in Sydney. And I was like, it's probably because I walk in here with a friggin', you know, with a mohawk and, you know, and I have a motorcycle vest on, and they're probably looking at me like I'm some kind of like, you know, Sons of Anarchy motorcycle gang, you know, friggin' person. And, you know, so they're probably a little nervous, be like, what is this dude trying to come in here? You know, he trying to take over the library for his little motorcycle gang or something and run drugs in here or some shit like, so appearances, I understand. Once I got to talking to them a little bit and, you know, told them who I was and what I was, you know, trying to do, they warmed up a little bit. Not much. You know, I said, I got a well better reception from Sydney lady, and it's probably because I actually talked to her on the phone for a good hour before I went and met her in person. And she was probably a little shocked when I showed up and was wearing the same shit and had the mohawk and everything, and was just like, oh shit, I, you know, did not picture you showing up like this. Well, good. It's good. It makes me different. I got my little suit, and I got my mohawk, taking on this persona of the Rooster. Whatever I got to tell myself to get shit done, right? Whatever I got to do to tell myself to make shit happens, it's going to fucking happen. Oh, I'm going to get off here for this morning. I hope you all have an amazing day. I'm going to repeat this one more time. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. By Andrea Dykstra. I believe that's how you pronounce the last name. Always remember two things, you guys. You're stronger than what you think, and you're not alone. Peace.
When I was just a young buck, mama always told me, son, keep your head up. I started hustling in the street cause I was fed up. At the age of 13, just trying to get my bread up. Didn't know my father, he was murdered in cold blood. That's why I have no remorse and never show no love. Hoping I piss you off, I really give two fucks. Burning my old bridges, trying to find me a new plug. And knowing that I needed to change, always taking from people who probably needed the same. But I was deep in the game and running deep with my gang. And if our pockets was low, then we was peeping your chain. Boy, gotta come up somehow. Instead of running these streets from sun up to sundown, I gotta change my mindset. It ain't no wondering why now that it wasn't my time yet. And why we gotta learn the hard way, doing things that we know we ain't supposed to. And I'm gonna do whatever it takes to keep the devil on my back to get to where I'm going to. I can never get enough of that tough love. When push comes to shove, you can kick me while I'm down, but I'm gonna get back up. Never get enough of that tough love. When push comes to shove, you can kick me while I'm down, but I'm gonna get back up. Ha! What did you do? This is what I did. Yeah, I followed through with the plans. Washing my hands, I'm through with chasing these bands. Found hope, put down dope, becoming a man. Picking up the number 2 and letting go of the grams. I never thought that I could make it this far, to eating caviar from stealing stereos from your car. You'd be a fool not to change and try and better yourself. Better quit while you ahead, don't get ahead of yourself. And in truth, you'll find peace and find me blowing on pine trees, trying to fill up a dime piece. No more popping my 9-piece or stopping the grind streets. Don't take life for granted, cause boy, you know your time's least. And life is what you make it. Better take the music that you dance to and face it. So next time a hater says you can't make it, let that be your motivation to show them that you was destined for greatness. And why we gotta learn the hard way, doing things that we know we ain't supposed to. And I'm gonna do whatever it takes to keep the devil on my back to get to where I'm going to. I can never get enough of that tough love. When push comes to shove, you can kick me while I'm down, but I'm gonna get back up. Never get enough of that tough love. When push comes to shove, you can kick me while I'm down, but I'm gonna get back up. Ha. You see, change is inevitable, so it's never too late to make a difference as an individual. Cause we gotta do that to become better as a whole. All for one, and one for all. And why we gotta learn the hard way, doing things that we know we ain't supposed to. And I'm gonna do whatever it takes to keep the devil on my back to get to where I'm going to. I can never get enough of that tough love. When push comes to shove, you can kick me while I'm down, but I'm gonna get back up. Never get enough of that tough love. When push comes to shove, you can kick me while I'm down, but